Greetings and salutations, Dota fans, as I badger back for some more League of Legends Season 9 action. I'm joined tonight by my captain, the great ColonelSquid. How are you in this fine evening?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking, Badger. How about yourself?
Doing quite well. You know, it's a good day to get some lads casting in. Been real busy with BTS Pro Series 10 recently, so it's good to get a night off. Cast the boys and their opponents.
Yeah. Always good for good old lads cast.
So both teams have a stand-in. Keita will not be here tonight for Booba enthusiasts. He will be replaced by last season's team member, 11-17. The Jokers are missing a player as well, and they brought back a familiar stand-in. It's Bojax.
And Karan.
Oh, shit, they have two stand-ins, you're right. Karan's not on this team, to be honest.
Yeah, Karan is on a much better team. Crappa.
I mean, this feels like a team he'd be on, no?
I definitely would agree. He is on a different team now.
A much worse team.
A team that is doing its
last
best.
season, right?
Say again?
They teamed last season, right?
Who?
Beast and Karan?
I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't think I was in their group, and I don't think I ever met them in playoffs.
But you weren't on their group. They, I remember Karan's team got last in their group last season. I want to say Beast was on the team.
It might have been Beast.
But
I think it was.
If it was, then you could tell who won that split. You know, Karan's team still in last, Beast team doing all right. They're not doing great, but doing all right.
I actually don't think so. I thought this was Beast's first lad season. That's so much drama.
There's a good chance you're right. I mean, it's something I should know. I really should know. For
leave that to the admins. Leave that to the admins.
For multiple reasons, I really should know. But
you're just a lowly caster, eh?
All I wanted to be was a caster, and they forced me to admin, man. It's not my fault.
Okay.
But we have
at least that means you get to strong arm anyone into giving you whatever casts you want.
I wish I would have cast a few more series this season if I did. But what can you do? We have some picks though. A couple old picks and a new pick. Io, you know, staple of the last patch, staple of the new patch, of course.
Mm-hmm.
A hero the Boob enthusiasts have loved, and they grab with Aaron's Invoker. The Jokers grab Weaver, but you know what they grab that's not a Weaver? It's
the Omni Knight.
It's Omni Knight, hero who had no play last patch, suddenly is good. Break it down, buddy.
The W is really good. Like, it's like 1k HP if you debuff a couple spells. Unfortunately, it is dispellable. So the instant invoker can immediately get rid of it. But I saw an interaction recently where there was this Medusa pushing high ground, and he had a Dazzle and a Omni Knight behind him, and like every 3 seconds he would just get healed for a shit ton. Like this Omni Knight, when you get like Holy Locket and your and like your Q and W maxed, you just can keep someone alive for a long time.
This is off topic, but I have some very important League of Lads related news.
Mm-hmm.
Shrek, the Green Knights, has been
unbanned.
He's been unbanned. For those who are unaware, he's a 10k behavior score player, commendations and so on, no reports. Got a 1-month ban by Valve, and he's now been unbanned by Valve like 16 hours later.
He must have griefed someone's game.
Clearly.
And
but
big XD moment.
It couldn't have been somebody too important, or else he'd still be banned. So he griefed like the janitor's game.
5 seconds remaining.
That's pretty funny. Wait, that's okay. This all chat from Beast is kind of funny. They've banned 4 Beast heroes and picked the 5th.
And then it's like he asks for one to be banned too, and then it gets banned just for the fun of it.
I don't know what he's gonna play. I don't know. Maybe he just picks like Puck. I don't know if he plays Ember. I mean, he plays Storm, and I think he plays Void Spirit. So, wouldn't surprise me if he plays Ember too, you know. Hopefully he's in the trifecta, but
One of those things though, when you spend so much time banning out one player, it sometimes backfires. Like sometimes you just you don't want to ban out. I mean, in this case, it's more appropriate, but sometimes when you say like ban out lower MMR players, heroes, it can compromise your ban. And there's been a number of times where our team has played and people have banned out like Jakiro, Ogre, Abaddon. It's like, oh, well, suddenly we get the good heroes and we just banned out Badger's heroes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely think it's much better of a strategy to just focus ban a hero puddler when they're in a core role. Sometimes you ban out a bunch of support heroes. It's like maybe the support's on a less impactful hero, but you can get really good core matchups because you didn't protect your cores with good core matchup bans. And so when it's a mid laner, you kind of can kill two birds with one stone. Not that necessarily Earthshaker and ET looked that good this game, but it is a nice mix of banning good matchups, because I think Void Spirit's one of the best matchups against Invoker, and then banning sort of comfort heroes.
Speaking of killing with a stone, though, it is Tiny here who has seen a huge upswing. I've been holding down for like 30 seconds.
Oh,
it's been a hero who's seen a
yeah.
huge upswing.
You're working on that one, huh?
I had it while I was waiting for you to stop talking to say it.
I see.
Speaking of heroes who have seen a huge upswing in picking recently, it's Tiny. So what's your thoughts on the way that Tiny's supposed to be played? I've seen conflicting opinions on how Tiny's supposed to be played in this current patch, the 7.31 patch. What are your thoughts on the current state of Tiny?
I think that Tiny is very, very strong right now, and it has to do with the way that they changed the numbers. They tweaked it in a way where they changed where the percentage is. And so it used to be that the tree grab would give you 20% bonus damage. So whatever damage you had, I don't remember if it was base, but your tree, when you picked it up, the tree would give you 20% extra damage, and your grow just gives you 30, 70, 110 bonus damage. But now your tree gives just 20 bonus damage, and your ulti, when you hold a tree, gives you 50% of the grow bonus. And the way that they tweak those numbers is that now when you get the 15 talent, which you get another 50% grow bonus damage, so it just doubles the damage you get, you multiply it in a way where you just do such insane amounts of physical damage. You can hit for like 350 damage at like 15 minutes into the game, and when you just with like just an Echo Saber. And so it makes it really, really strong. Like you hit a much stronger 15-20 minute timing, but you don't carry as much later because the percentage is now, it's a percent of a flat amount instead of just a percent of your damage. So it used to be, as you would get more damage, the bonus from tree grab would go up as well. So Tiny would really be strong at like a 3 to 4 item timing, but now you're much stronger with like 2 items.
Well, that's actually pretty. That's definitely different in terms of. I remember for a long time we were seeing these Tiny builds. It was like, all right, get really strong like minute 30 is more like a minute 20 timing now.
Yeah, I think what you want sort of Echo Saber Shard +1. So whether that one is a Shadow Blade, a BKB, maybe a Blink Dagger, probably not if you're carry. But when you hit that, it's really hard for other heroes to fight into you. And they also have not necessarily, and another one actually, they have a buff heroes to also amp up the damage he's doing with the strength that he would get from Heavenly Grace. I think that's what the spell's still called, right?
I think so. But I mean, we're actually
yes,
seeing,
it is.
You mentioned how Tiny doesn't necessarily scale off his kit the way he used to, but you know it's a good way to buff your carry. Heavenly Grace Empower. Suddenly you've undone the nerfs, but you keep the buffs, and now Tiny's like, oh, this very strong rock-based champion here run over the Radiant Tamer.
Yeah, it definitely feels nice. Tiny is one of those heroes that really likes having these buff heroes. There's some classic, like, speaking of ogre in the game, like Bloodlust is one of the classic, like, just buff up your core, and Tiny is one of the best cores for that. I mean, usually your cores are like Morphling, Medusa, I don't know, like those sort of cores that just really take advantage of the extra amount, and just use it the most effectively. But a hero like Tiny, the reason why he likes and almost needs those is because he has often a very specific window to kill somebody, since he can get very kited easily. And so if you don't kill somebody in one of your teammates' stuns or in an Avatos and they're able to back up, you're not that great at taking fights where people are able to like move around. You sort of want to kill people in a set thing. And so the difference with like an Empower or with a Heavenly Grace between you killing someone and them living on like 100 or 150 HP, it's really important for a Tiny. And so the higher you can make your threshold, the less likely that it is you're going to just get kited because you can move from target to target.
What I'm excited though in terms of these buffed up carries is what they're going to pick for KU, because KU is notorious for picking these really super buff carries. You'll have the Isle, will have the Bloodlust, and a number of his heroes are still unbanned. Obviously, TB, Lycan, two of his recent flings have been banned out, but
I like Drow for him.
yeah,
Just
Drow,
before they
Dusa
pick
perhaps both available. They go for
Go
Faceless Void instead.
Faceless. Okay.
Interesting.
That's I think Faceless Ogre is such a strong combo. I mean, they have. It looks like a really good Faceless Void game, even into OD. Because if you just think of how his fight looks, he's always going to have damage for Chrono because they have an Invoker. Out of Chrono, he's going to have Bloodlust and Overcharge. And he also has a Mars if he doesn't want to start the fights. He has an alternate initiator. So, one of the ways that you can deal with someone like Tiny, who just does a ton of damage at 15 minutes into the game, is just perma-bashing him. And there's no counterplay from the Tiny, at least. And a Bloodlusted Overcharged Faceless Void can get pretty close to perma-bashing.
We're being asked to rate hats. I like Radiance hats better. Do you like Radiance hats better?
Ogres is pretty dope. Dire's not wearing that many hats. It's just Magnus and I guess there's a crown on Tiny. I don't know. I don't know if I can give it to Radiant because Aaron's not using the hat on Invoker. The little magician hat.
Okay,
And,
I specified. I specified. we have made ourselves clear. You know, it's me and you in the balcony, spectating the action. We have weighed in to the people. Technically, the two of us are now going to get banned from casting by League of Legends, but I think I know some on the inside of the Advent team. Don't worry.
Interesting what they've done with the roles on Radiant. They've moved Kobe to Pause 5, which is what he used to play on Portland Burnsiders with KU, and they've made 11-17 play off lane.
And Kobe's been the real flex player as of recently. For a long time, he played mid lane after playing traditionally 5 lane in a more semi-pro type team. Now he's moving over to the 3, then back to 5. I mean, he's here to flex around, and he's showing his versatility tonight for sure.
Yeah, Kobe's always been a player for me that is just seems very solid, just generally solid. He plays a lot of just solid heroes that like are always going to have impact no matter what, that you can't super counter. And I mean, tonight he's playing one of them. Ogre is the epitome of no matter what, I will have impact. Even if I die 100-0 at the start of every fight, at least my carry will be bloodlusted.
There we go. I mean, it's a good game to be Ogre Magi for sure. I think it's actually one of those lanes where I think I'll have a pretty good lane here. It's not like Weaver can really force him out of the lane. It's a lot of physical damage plus Shikuchi, and neither are really going to stop an Ogre Magi who has a lot of HP and a lot of armor. So I look forward to seeing exactly what happens in this bottom lane. Should be the very, very important lane. Mid lane, it's Invoker taking on, what is that, a Magnus. Probably should be relatively even if I had to guess there.
It depends on what build Aaron goes for. I believe Aaron prefers to go Quas Exhort. He hasn't actually skilled yet, so we don't know. These items actually don't tell us anything. It's also kind of weird. Usually you start with a Mantle of Intelligence as well, but either way, with Quas Wex, you can actually click out a Magnus. But if he goes Quas Exhort, it's definitely just going to be a farm. I think it's probably a draw unless Aaron wants to not make it a draw. Like if he goes Quas Exhort, it's a very clear draw. No one should get too far ahead of each other. Invoker's probably going to deny more creeps, but Magnus is going to be able to farm the small camp much easier. But he started with Quas, so he may be trying to punish this Mag a little bit, which...
He's been skewed right under the tower. Aaron should not die here, but that will be a lot of damage. What a fantastic start for Beast, catching Aaron off guard.
That is what can happen if you try to flick the Mag and you're not careful, because if he just goes for CS, the reason is with Quas Wex, you actually don't have the damage to out CS a Mag. Like a Mag with Empower, already he has 67 damage to Invoker's 53. So he can't really CS on Invoker against the Mag. And so what you have to do is you have to click him away so that he isn't in range to contest your CS. But if you're not careful, he can do what we just saw and skewer him under tower.
And we have not touched on the top lane quite yet. It is Io Mars versus Tiny Omni. A lot of strength heroes, 4 to be precise. What's about from this top laner?
Very strong, a lot of strength. I think I definitely would rather be the Mars Io. I mean, Mars Io is such a strong lane. Yeah, I see Radiant absolutely destroying this lane. Tiny is a strong hero, but Omni is more of a healer than a lane fighter, especially in the 2 really strong traders. So I think if Karan and 11-17 go easy in lane, Dyer's definitely happy.
And so far has been relatively good for the Mars there. 10-1 versus Tiny's 5-2, and I think you might be right about that lane going that well. In the bottom lane, we are seeing OD being a run at. Time Walk is in from KU, but it will not be a kill quite yet. It's a lot of regen taken out. Favorable trade for the Radiant side, and looks like both side lanes going pretty well for the side of Booba enthusiasts. Mid lane a little bit less so, but we're seeing now that Aaron is no longer under the dire side tower. He's eating up the CS.
Yeah, no, I think... oh, wow. This is pretty bold from Aaron. He's still rushing Midas, even though he's playing Quas Wex. So he's sort of combining the 2 builds of trying to not fall behind on farm, but also having the potential to bully out a Magnus. And it's almost interesting. I always thought of Aaron as preferring the Quas Exhort, and especially when you have an Invoker on your team, that's more of an excuse to do it. And he's going a Midas anyway. Maybe he wants to play around more with Mars. Because the one thing that they don't really lack is a support that can do things. Both Ogre and Io are somewhat supportive supports, rather than something like a Willow or a Skywrath or a Marcy or something that can actually make things happen on the map. So he maybe feels like it's his job to convert a okay lane into a good mid game.
And it means that you mentioned him playing with the Mars in the mid game, but eventually, at some point, the Void will be truly unlock the Chrono Series in the late game. But at that point, he'll have, Aghanims, Max Exhort, and he'll be ready to pump that Cataclysm combo anyways. So, Aaron's an Invoker expert. He's ready to flex around from build to build here, and he sees, you know what? Do a bit of this build, a bit of that build, and that's part of the value of Invokers. You have a lot more versatility than you would on an ordinary hero in that sense.
Oh yeah. Seems like things have definitely calmed down in the mid lane, even though he's crosswax. It's looking like a farm trade.
It's been relatively common all the lanes, except for bottom lane. We've seen a couple spells being thrown out bottom lane, but nothing real close in terms of kill attempts. We're seeing, damage. to the Weaver, to the OD, to Faceless Void, but nobody's dying. Top lane, somebody might die right now, perhaps. M17 is being run at, though Radiant half-turn Avalanche is on both, though Dire still lose that trade. The IO is just high value right now.
Interesting. Usually, people go a second point into Tether before they go a second point into Overcharge, just because it's not that good. It's only for attack speed, but maybe on a strength hero like Mars that doesn't have that much natural attack speed, that 20 extra attack speed is more worth it than usual. Because if you look at it, it goes from 0.5% max HP to 0.6. It's pretty negligible, but I guess the attack speed is worth it in 11-17's eyes.
You got that extra bit of spell amp too with the wait. I guess Rebuke is physical. It's only spear damage, but
yeah,
it's not too much. It's 2%.
Like it's. This is the annoying part of Magnus, is that you just get all of your mana burned.
That's how most lanes into Evoker, though. I mean, a couple exceptions of heroes who can, not get hit by EMP, but most mid laners, including our friend Magnus, get bothered by a spell like EMP in lane, unsurprisingly.
Well, and he's getting a nice juicy bottle fill from his Weaver. God, people have not learned yet on how to properly bottle fill mid.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly different. Before you used to spam the inputs. Now you need one efficient input, so it's different muscle memory than you had for years and years and years, where it was, for years you see bottle crawling as this sort of muscle memory, and people have to adjust to it. And we're going to see it now with this new bottle change to the mid lane.
Yeah, I guess it's more of a wow. Invoker's already at his minus at 6 minutes. He literally had his starting items, bought tangos, and has not purchased anything but his Midas. And I mean, he's gotten quite a few CS.
Yeah, I mean, he's currently leading the CS right now, and he's number one in net worth by a somewhat decent margin. He's having a great game so far in the Invoker, despite a rough minute 1. By minute 6, he's now top on the board here.
Yeah. That is maybe just demonstrating the little bit of a, not a major skill difference, but a little bit of a skill difference between Beast and Aaron. Aaron being one of the top mid laners in the league, and Beast being probably the lowest MMR mid laner in the league, if I remember correctly.
I believe you're right. If he's not last, is like number 2, number 3. He's definitely towards the bottom MMR wise in the mid lane, so it shouldn't be too shocking. I think Bobby PMA might be lower actually, but
who?
Bobby PMA.
Oh yeah, Bobby, maybe, but it's definitely. I think it's also a nicer lane for Aaron. Aaron is sort of in the driver's seat in this lane, and unless he fucks up, he really should never be pressured in the slightest. You see,
bottom
maybe
lane,
a little bit of a
was missed actually by Defy. He almost lost his life for that one, and we're seeing a lot of trading still. Ogre Magi is low, Shikuchi is pop, but will the Ogre Magi go down? Fire Blast, the right clicks from KU, and Weaver cannot find the go over to top lane. Meanwhile, they're running at Karan, but Karan also is alive. So it's a lot of brawling, a lot of heroes in danger, but still nobody dead. No first blood in minute 8 now.
This just in, it's an ogre.
Yeah, I mean, Ogre is still being run at. He's trying desperately. Raindrop, pop.
It's an ogre.
It's an ogre.
Yeah, Mr. Weaver, it's an ogre.
He
it's
wants to kill.
interesting that the OD has opted for the Meme Hammer. That is a build that I thought was going to be pretty much dead after the change, because, well, it's not the biggest change, 90 DPS to 60 DPS. It is definitely noticeable. I don't think that's going to hit.
Let me ask you, ColonelSquid, did you watch last Power Hour?
I did not, unfortunately.
We'll see the anecdote later. 2-man Chronosphere bottom lane. It's OD and Weaver on the inside. Ogre Magi is TP'd in. Ogre Magi will stun on OD. OD certainly will drop first blood. In comes Aaron. Cold snapping the Weaver. Weaver goes down as well. 2 kills for Kobe on the Ogre Magi. In top lane, Karan actually almost dies to 11-17, but he will survive for now. But I mentioned on Lads Power Hour, next person I see going OD Meteor Hammer in Lads will be getting a solid roasting. Defy, we will see you next Thursday.
Yeah. Oh, it's also unlucky when you miss your timing.
He's missed
It's,
twice so far. He was early
yeah.
once and was also later once, so it's
It is.
rough timing.
It is hard to hit it on a faceless void. You have to be within what, like 0.3 seconds. But I don't know. It seems like he is plat tier on the hero. You'd think he'd have a little bit more practice timing it, but maybe a little bit of pressure, maybe a little bit of roll.
Tornado is missed by Aaron, sparing the life of Defy on the OD, so no death there on OD, but it's still 2-0 kill score. Minute 10 now looking at Navwars. Nothing too shocking there. Invoker, Magnus, up on top. Rest of the cores, all mostly in the same group. Bottom lane, Hammers attempted, hitting on KU, but the damage is lacking. Now KU time locks in, removing some damage. Aaron arrived, it's Cold Snap and the Urn. Ice Wall will miss, and Beast has arrived on Magnus. He's got 2 bracers and an RP and a double damage room, but Radiant have backed.
Okay, maybe shouldn't have TP'd in Vision there. Might have had a chance for a kill, but I think he's also just satisfied with hitting jungle creeps. Interesting item that Aaron's got queued up in the Holy Locket. Holy Locket Invoker.
Well, top lane, it's the arena on Karan. Mars is tossed outside, but Invoker's walked inside. Spear will stun. Tiny will attempt to get away. Will it work? Likely not. The dive continues. They want the Tiny. He is quite low. OD TP's in, and Tiny is still alive. Imprisonment is on Aaron, but Spear brings down Karan. They move to OD, who is stunned. Cold Snap, Urn, yep, it's there on OD. As that happens, Io dies in the middle lane to a 3-man gank. Hammered up top lane, down goes Aaron. Defy is surviving. He's brought down one. He moves 11-17 on the Mars, who's stunned her at T1 tower. Spear is missed. Defy is hitting. The Mars will bulwark, attempting to run away, but will he survive? One more hit, Imprisonment will do it. Down goes 11-17. Somehow, some way, this top lane gank, it's a disaster for the side Booba Enthusiast. The 1-for-0 turns into a 2-for-1, and as that happened mid lane, they lose their IO, so it's a 3-4 overall there.
Really, really nice. Really, really well played from Defy. He runs under tower and uses his wand to get a little bit of HP, and then imprisons the Mars after he gets the Invoker kill to set up for the Meteor Hammer. And then the Mars was in Spear animation when the Meteor Hammer hit, and so once he became unstunned for it, I don't think he cancelled his action. And so it threw it immediately, which is why the Spear was so far off the mark. Maybe if it was cancelled, he might have lived, but still, very, very well played from Defy. He played that as well as he could have.
He heard us. He heard us flaming him, roasting him, being prognosticators about his sort of play so far, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to show you two that you don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to play well in his OD, and let me credit to him there. That's a less good job there on the OD, and well, looks like the action continues in the dire side tri-camp. Kobe is dewarding, he stuns Karan, but Karan and Weaver head for Kobe. They want the Ogre Magi, Bulljax arrives, Beast arrives, but Ogre is now dead. Blink in the Shockwave.
Blink.
That's a 2-bracer
Arena
in.
top.
Actually, over the top lane, you're right. Arena once again committed on Defy. Defy remains alive, Bulljax is healing. And now 11-17 to spear the OD, but the OD is still alive. Tornado will miss. Defy is imprisoned himself, and he will barely survive. So, fail gank top lane, as the Ogre Magi died in the river area.
That was pretty well played from the Radiant. It was a good idea. They show the Mars in the wave as sort of a bait to make OD commit. And then once he astrals and then goes for the Meteor Hammer, the Invoker shows from the shadows to go on him, but they just didn't have enough in the tank between the two heroes. See Beast coming top lane. Maybe he wants to get some kills with this RP. But looks like he's fine to farm for.
We are seeing the laning phase truly begin to degenerate, though. I mean, this bottom tier 1 on the dire side, it is dead, and I'm sure more towers will join it very, very soon. Perhaps the top lane, though. Radiant only have 2. It is still that Mars Invoker combo you spoke of earlier in the session, and they're still playing mono in the top lane. But Beast is invis with that smoke, joined by Bulljax. RP you mentioned is still up, and now here we go. Dire see the Invoker. It's Blink into Shockwave. Skewers onto the Mars instead, so Dire run at Invoker, but Invoker is very elusive and durable. So Dire, they smoked, and they have missed entirely. They saw heroes, but could not kill one.
Did you see what happened there? The Wild Wing Ripper from the hard camp used its Hurricane ability onto Aaron to push him 500 units, which made the Magnus miss his skewer.
Is that what did it? Oh.
Yeah. He got pushed by the Hurricane from the Wild Wing Ripper. That is so unfortunate that right when Magnus goes to blink in, Invoker gets pushed by it. And it saves his life.
It's random usage apparently now, and it's always good to have more RNG in a skill-based game. There's nothing could possibly go wrong there with more RNG in a skill-based game. I'm not bitter at all.
Yeah, I'm sure that Dire is loving the RNG right about now. Right about now.
Yeah, I see you looking around for more Wild Wing Rippers as well, like I'm doing. I'm trying to find out to read the exact description on the ability now.
Yeah.
But alas, there's no. Yeah, next time we see a Ripper, we'll mention it.
On the map.
We'll
Yes. I don't actually know what.
Combo on the IO. The IO will attempt to get away. He's tethered to allied creeps, and actually that might be enough. Over the top lane, meanwhile, Rita's there, and Defy's being in the 1v2. It's a 3-man RP from Beast, but there's no follow-up. Skewer. It is up. It's only on the Ogre Magi. Dire TP in, but Ogre is the only one who's very low right now. So it's a 1-for-1 top lane so far. Dire look for more, but they will get away on the Radiant side. So it's a 1-for-1 in the top lane. Ogre for OD, a very good trade for the side of Booba enthusiasts.
That's unfortunate that OD fell. If OD had lived on maybe a little bit of a sliver, gotten his stick off, he might have been able to turn that with some follow-up damage, but once the OD dies, Magnus, he is farmed, but he's not that farmed. And we see Radiant. The thing that they lack is early tower taking ability. And so they are trying to use this Cardi Wave to secure the mid tower. And seems to be doing a pretty good job right now. They're probably going to lose it, but some very good damage done. Tower down to under 150 HP. And we see 9 heroes in the middle lane.
It's in deny range, though. Dire want to hold on to the last thread of their middle T1 tower. They, of course, do not want to give up more map control with this bot T1 being dead and the mid T1 on life support. I'd say a lot of tri-camp control being lost, and even though the tri-camp has lost a little bit of value with this new patch.
Ripper just died. Fuck.
Oh no, we missed it.
We missed it.
But even though the tri-camp... Oh, where's it?
Alright, let's see.
Where is it?
I
found it.
What triggers it? It pushes them 400 units, but it doesn't say what triggers it.
It says distance pushed 400.
I think it might be similar to Roche, because there are a lot of abilities that work like this, like especially the Centaur Stomp, where there has to be 3 units. And so I believe what had happened is there was an Omni Knight on Aaron, and so Magnus blinking in was the 3rd unit, and so that made the Ripper decide to use its ability, which was very unfortunate for the Dire.
Was Omni in range? I thought he wasn't, but...
Maybe it was Ogre. I think there was another hero close, I remember. It may have been his own teammate, but...
Close is a relative term, though. It didn't seem that close.
Well, who knows?
Regardless...
The Ripper decided to grease the Dire.
Yeah, at this point we are past Wild Ring Rippers. We're seeing a 4-man smoke from the Dire. It's popped on KU, but they don't see KU. They know he's there, but Radiant also know that he's there, so... Bit of a problem there for both sides.
Smoke was under a ward, so I don't think it's going to bear any fruits.
It looks like it'll be possibly connection on Io and Ogre Magi, but...
These are not exactly the... Yeah.
It is Blink on Beast, it's Blink, Shockwave RP only on Io. Io certainly will go down, bit of a sloppy execution there, and now in come the Radiants. Dilation hits on Tiny and Magnus, Time Lock, Chrono, it's on Mag, Kata, drop, but Odious saved him. Good save from Defy, but can Mag get out? Hell no. Arena, Spear, all committed now. The Mars is in, tanking the damage, fighting with 4. Dire slowly retreat as Radiants are repositioning. Seems like they're content with what's happened, and Dire actually are turning with Tiny. They want to turn the 1-for-1 into a better trade, but I don't think they have the angle. That's their Blink Stunner Magnus currently dead.
Mm-hmm. Very nice reveal on the Aghanims from the Radiant. Even though the Magnus got saved by the OD, they didn't have anything for the follow-up of Magnus. Or the follow-up of Mars. Oh, tiny mid.
Yeah, I mean, they'll attempt it. Ice Wall slows, though Karan has tossed away the Mars. Weaver is nearby, but it seems as though Karan is instead being speared back under the Tier 1 tower once again. Fantastic Blink Spear by 1117, and down goes Karan. They move to Little Man Bulljax, who is currently disarmed and is TPing and will barely get away in time. Stuns were on cooldown. Good recognition from Bulljax, but losing your carry Tiny at this vantage point is an absolute disaster for the side of Joker's team.
I was so close to being another death. Kobe had 1 second on his stun, then 1 second on the spear. Very narrow. That was really nice spell casting. The tornado into Ice Wall, and then after he walks out of Ice Wall...
Weaver has been caught in the dire side jungle. Blink Arena from 1117. Speaking of good spell casting, that's Weaver dead as well there. You were saying before that?
The Invoker chained his spells very nice, using the Ice Wall, and then not comboing the Ice Wall with the Cold Snap because it's a little bit of a waste to disable. But then using the Cold Snap after he walked out of the Ice Wall to buy time for the Mars to be able to blink behind him and spear him back. And it also makes the spear much easier to hit on a Cold Snap target.
Well, it seems like at this point it is the side of Booba enthusiasts who are in the driver's seat. If you are the side of Joker's team, what kind of play do you make? Is it that 5-man smoke play out the RP again? Hope you connect parlay into a Roshan? What's the kind of play here if you're Dire now?
Really hard to make moves. You need to kill this Faceless Void. Your Tiny's benefit is that he gets this basically Battle Fury so much earlier than other heroes, and that allows him to get a nice little buffer between him and other carries, but KU has not only closed that buffer, but he's created a buffer of his own, and you really need to punish that.
We're seeing Weaver being gone upon, as well as the D-Ward attempted. Looks like the D-Ward will be off the mark, though, as Sentry Ward from Bulljax barely short. We are seeing a Dire, though, head for Io. Shockwave Skewer hits on Malefic. Malefic immediately drops. KU comes in. Colonel Spheres there on 3. It's fantastic, but Bulljax has saved for now. Follow-up. It's the arena on OD. They're committing. Fortify. His life is lost, but can Dire turn? Ice Wall has slowed Karan. He's trying to run, but he's bashed by KU. RP. It's only there on 1. It is the Mars, and now Radiance. They fight around their entire team. They've speared the Magnus. Dire are beginning to drop, but they're not quite dead yet. Time Walk in. Omni Knight out. Ogre, the trade, but Dire are dropping fast. Beast, dead. Karan, desperately trying to bring another kill, but he will not get the extra kill. Karan goes down. Another kill for Aaron. A 4-for-1 trade and a fantastic team fight win for the side of Booba enthusiasts.
That was a really nice chrono from KU. Hits on the 3. But unfortunately, Invoker had used the Sunstrike to try to go for the Weaver kill that was right here. And so his Sunstrike was on cooldown for like 3 or 4 more seconds when he invoked it up to try to cast it with the chrono. So it let Dire have a little bit more room in the fight, but it is just so hard when they're able to use all of their spells in the OD and Omni Knight's not in range to give him a helping hand. You really can't do much as the fight continues because this OD is sort of your difference maker to stop your 2 melee strength cores from just getting kited by the slows and stuns. Because if you think about it, they have so many good ways to kite these strength melee heroes between Cold Snap, Time Dilation, Ignite, just a bunch of pesky spells that make it really hard to navigate fights. And Ice Wall too. Like it's really hard if they don't have this difference maker of an OD to use offensive astrals to gain some space on the enemies, or defensive astral to be able to save people from the spells.
Well, here we go again. It's time for some tower pushing. The targets, Dire side top tier 2, KU Aegis in hand, will be taking it quite easily, and it will be the Shrine in tow. It has a lot of map control for the side of Booba enthusiasts, and this has really been their gameplay for the last, 16 games they've played in LANs this season. It's this kind of style of take these good mid-game team fights for KU's online, and lo and behold, map control is in your hands, and this won't be the first victim of it. It seems not be the last either. It's obviously still a winnable game for Decided Joker's team, but Booba enthusiasts, they are wily veterans. They like the kind of style, and it's a play attempt on Ogre Magi. He's low, but still alive. Two-man arena is committed. By 11-17, in comes KU. Chrono on 2. Kata is dropped. The Beast is dead. Bulljack's in the ground as well. They head to Weaver. Weaver will drop. 3 more kills for Decided Booba enthusiast in the lead. It is inching forward more and more towards victory the more time goes on.
Yeah, it's just really hard for Dire to make plays. They actually don't have a single reliable stun. With your support duo of Omni and Weaver, it's really nice for keeping people alive, but you actually have no way to lock onto a target. Relocate bottom.
Here comes IO bottom lane. It's 11-17 the setup. KU and Malefic arriving. They want Karan in the 3v1. They certainly will find him. The kill actually being split between the 3, but the result is the same. The carry in the grave. Now a 10k net worth lead, and the mid T2 went down during all of that, I believe. So that's just more and more gain for the side of Booba enthusiasts. The spot T2 should be shaking in its boots. Its foundations will be destroyed in very, 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 very little time. And well, we mentioned it was getting a little bit bad about a 3k net worth lead, and now it's a 10k net worth lead. So it's the same problem for the side of Joker teams. It's now harder. And speaking of harder, it's getting harder now. OD has been caught. Can they save him? Likely not. Boldax is there, but Radiant have found him. OD is stunned. Boldax is bashed. They'll attempt the fight in the mid lane on the Dire side, but Dire are dropping very low, very rapidly. Boldax will drop. Question is, can the remainder of Dire get away? KU is in, attempting for more. Looks like they'll be good to go, though. Chrono is still on cooldown for 42, or perhaps not. Tylock into the back, into the Alacrity, into a very dead OD, and now Weaver, he too is bashed. 3 kills for KU. Karan is invis, but he can only watch his teammates die, and well, the lead grows more.
I had mentioned that the overcharge and the bloodlust in draft is very, very nice on Faceless. I forgot about the Alacrity, so that's just more attack speed that they can give this Faceless Void, and he's attacking with all of the buffs on him once every 0.31 seconds. So more than 3 times a second. And with a...
Well, desperation time. It's a skewer on KU. Has 2 lives. Rena's in on 2. ColonelSquid's there on 3. Beast is dead. Karan is dead. Boldax is dead. All 5 are dead. And the racks are not long behind.
Yeah. This is looking very, very hard for the Dire team. They can't manage to lock down the Faceless Void long enough. Try for a nice skewer back, but the heal from the IO is swifter than the RP could even come out. And it's not like you even want to be going on this Aegis Faceless Void, but they've given you no other choice.
They'll get 8 killed at the very least in the Ogre Magi, and well, it's desperation time. Imprisonment's on KU. By the way, it still has 2 lives. Swarm, the heal from Boljax, but Radiant have an IO, and they are walking away with Metharax in hand, top lane, full set of racks, middle lane, and a lead that's doubled in the last few minutes.
Mm-hmm. And, I mean, this backup from Radiant is so controlled. The Dire really have no ways to make plays, and so Radiant is just not going to give them an option to fight them until they have this Chrono back up. And even though they're going to lose Aegis, I assume when this Chronosphere is back up, they're going to make a play, take a fight where they kill 2 or 3 people in the Chrono, and then clean up afterwards, and then the Dire is going to call GG.
Yeah, I mean, it's anticlimactic, but the most likely outcome, unless something miraculous can happen. Perhaps it's mid lane, the arena, Sunstrike are there on Beast, Relocate arrives, KU. Never mind, he's just too strong. They head to Boljax, who too will die to more kills for the side of Booba enthusiasts, and well, their fans too will be enthused. The lead is just massive. It is growing, and it is, dare I say, gargantuan.
Spear back on the Weaver, but no follow-up. That was so unfortunate. The Weaver and the Magnus were both super slow from time dilation and ignite. And so they were trying to walk to each other for the Weaver to try to axe the Marn or the Magnus, but he just couldn't get in range. I mean, it is such short range. It's like 400. It's 500, yeah. It's so hard to cast it onto somebody. So just couldn't get in range, and Magnus dies. It's a bottom tower, and Chrono's back up. So they're going high.
Yeah, I mean, it's, the bottom wave is cut by Karam, but there's still plenty more creeps mid lane and bottom lane, and, well, soon to be top lane, so Equilibrium and backdoor should not be a significant issue. But I say, you know what? Aegis is lost. We can go, but why go? We'll make them go. When they go, we'll kill them, seems to be the idea, and... I mean, there's a current 3-man smoke active on the Dire side. Joker's team is looking for some kind of play, but the play is not presenting themselves. Booba Enthusiast is not even giving the slight chance of losing a team fight.
Yeah. I think that this game was looking good for Dire when Magnus got a nice level 1 skewer onto Invoker. And then since then, it is every single thing is just coming up radiant. Coming up, Booba
Literally
Enthusiast.
everything. I mean, I can't think. I guess there was that one fight top lane at the OD, but other than that, mid lane conspiracy is entirely missed. Though Weaver walked into it.
Oh, Weaver walked into it.
Karan goes down though, anyways, and the arena will be there on the OD. Radiant have committed in. Kata dropped OD dead. Bulljax has popped Guardian Angel. It does not matter. The Weaver will survive. RP is there on 3. Can they turn Skewer in? Hammer drop, but no, nobody's dead. The buybacks are committed, but Dire just lack the damage. They'll arrive again with 4 more fighters, but all 4 might just be lost skewers. They're on KU in the fountain. Can they kill him? No, he time locks again. Weaver dead. Weaver is buyback. They stun him again, though, and now Radiance begin to leave the facade of the Dire side fountain, but it seems not to matter. They're just killing everything. Weaver
oh no, 11-17.
11-17 is the trade. He got a little bit too frisky on that one.
He tried to spear the OD that was missing the hammer.
Well, Beast is in if he kills another hero. That's 2 heroes dead. Problem is, KU is, well, very big and
Just
very
ignore
bad.
him! Just astral him and ignore him!
Malefic has gotten away, and KU is once again hitting. Aaron arrives, Meteor dropped the 5 beasts, both dead. Malefic somehow still alive. He'll now drop, but it's a trade for Karan, and now Bulljax. He's alone, the little man himself, your former teammates. Somehow.
No way. No way! Dude, what? Alright, that's a lad's winner play right there. That is a lad's winner play.
But despite being a last winner, he alas is not a game winner on this fine evening. 32 minutes, 14 seconds victory.
It's a fun game to watch. The Magnus right there at the end, they tried to cast Skewer maybe 5 times, and each time he got bashed. I think he got bashed maybe 9 times within like 4 seconds. It was just... It did not feel fun to be that melee strength hero with no pull on your team, because you had a overcharged, bloodlusted, Moonshard, Mask of Madness, Faceless Void wailing into you.
I'm just hoping Game 2 is... I don't know what I'm hoping for, but I'm just hoping in general at this point. I'm just full hoping. I expect nothing but another victory for Booba Enthusiasts, but I'm hoping something happens. I mean, Joker's team has gotten mostly draws this season. They've played 7 series, I believe, maybe 8 series, and they've drawn all but 1. So perhaps, somehow, some way, they can take a bite out of a giant.
We shall see.
You're on the wrong team, buddy.
Maybe I take Bulljax's spot, eh?
Maybe that would probably do it. Well, let's see here. Waiting for people to get into slots. Game 1 winner, of course, will be the side of Booba Enthusiasts. Who won coin flip? Answer, Joker's team. Which means it'll be Booba Enthusiasts now with choice of picker side, which is never a bad thing.
Always nice to have that little bit of a boost of we get to sort of start off the game before the draft is even started, knowing that you have control over the team, knowing that you have set the pace of the game, and it's going to be unfortunate for the Jokers not having that to help them.
And that's the one concern is, I mean, usually KU revels in that 24 pick where it's like, all right, I will pick you guys, your dumbass heroes, and I will get the ultimate word in the draft. In last game, he didn't get that. He had 23 pick, which means, well, now he has 24 pick, and of course the subsequent 18 pick.
It was a very good Faceless Void game. He was playing Faceless Void into a team where their biggest stun on him was RP, and their second most reliable stun was Toss. So, definitely, I'm sure he was very, very excited to play Faceless Void that game. It looked like a very fun game to play that hero in. I think that Booba Enthusiast is a team that is very good at, if the enemy team is not making any openings for themselves, Booba Enthusiast will not make any openings for the other team. And it is very, very controlled in that sense, where they always seem to be okay with the status quo. Seems like they're very, very skilled at making the game into a game state that they enjoy. And it's really hard to find a way to combat that, because it always seems like when they have a team where they would win 5v5s at 10 minutes, they take 5v5s at 10 minutes. When they have a team where they win 5v5s at 20 minutes, that's when they take the 5v5s. When they never have a time where they're going to win 5v5s, they play the map super split. It always seems like they are very, very adaptable and adjusting their gameplay, and it always seems to end with KU being 3 to 4 items up on the enemy carry and just absolutely taking them out back and showing them what a real carry is.
It almost sounds like you're just shot like some kind of like some kind of evil villain, but it's accurate. It's mechanical and it's calculated, and they're really. It's hard to beat KU. I mean, he is one of, if not the best player in the League of Lads, season in, season out. He was my season 7 MVP. He is a hell of a player, and he's just here to game. He's here to win. He's not here to play around with the Jokers. He's here to win.
I'll just say the KU team was the team I was looking forward to playing least last season, and I'm glad I only ever had to play them twice, and it was in groups.
We got to play them twice this season too. We did all right. We did better than most teams, which is not a good thing considering we lost 0-2. But
well, yes and no. I think that the game state was always in a place where they had this carry that would win in 40 minutes, and the game got to 40 minutes, and we're like, well, what can you do?
We
say.
Took it to 40 minutes, though. Usually most teams lose in like 30 minutes, so we took it.
You're right. We did force them to pick a hero that wins in 40 minutes instead of a hero that wins in 20.
Yes. I can't stop laughing. I'm trying to be positive, ColonelSquid. I'm trying my hardest to.
It's very hard. It is very hard to look for a positive in playing the Booba Enthusiast team.
It's like I at least mention the team name, right? But Booba Enthusiasts, I mean, they keep renaming their team every season, right? They went from Booba Enthusiasts. Before that, they were No Teddy. Before that, they were Sheesh. But their all-time best name is their original name. It's Step Bro, I'm Stuck.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They can't beat that. They could have had one of those, evergreen names, like Nebula, right? Where they just stick with it every season. It's like, all right, Step Bro, I'm Stuck. But no, they have to do it for some new meme with some new stupid anime banner every season, and lo and behold, here we are.
Yeah, who would ever change their name to a fucking meme name and then win lads? Couldn't be me.
Speaking of, screw you, actually. So it looks like we've seen the Joker say, you know what, we saw Io Invoker win Dota 2. Maybe we'll pick Io Invoker and win Dota 2.
They just yoinked their opening.
It's
And
literally-
their second phase ban. Are they going to ban the Elder Titan and the Earthshaker now too? Just fully steal the look.
that would
They're on
be
the Radiant.
Radiant
They've got the Io. They got the Invoker.
so. We're
Gonna go for
looking
the
at
next sucker
Faceless
ban.
Void, Mars, and Ogre Magi. If I were Booba enthusiast, I'd just start banning Faceless Void, Ogre Magi. Like, all right, get some new heroes.
Yeah, I think this seems like it is a nice flexible Tide pick. Could be 3, could be 5,
team ban. Team ban.
and that means that the Radiant team has to ban accordingly. Interesting that they decide to leave the Terrorblade. Oh,
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that one. I mean, they banned it last game. I think actually they might have banned the third phase though.
they
Perhaps-
did ban it third phase, but last game they at least had 18 picks. So let's say they did pick it in the second phase, game 2, they would have had at least one pick without bans in between to respond to it. But this game, if they feel like it, Booba enthusiasts can take TB at 18 pick and then have 2 bans to protect it.
which is scary. I mean, it's a very iconic combination for a reason. KU plus terrible.
He bans the Faceless Void, knowing that not letting the Jokers fully copy his combination.
Yeah, I'll come up with a
They're
new
gonna have-
combination.
It would have been a very nice Faceless Void game, considering
Seconds remaining.
that is one spell that the Tide cannot purge off. And a Tide Hunter with no counters can feel really, really hard to play against.
It's just one of those heroes that's so durable. He's hard to dislodge from a Dota game. It's like, alright, this hero's in the front and he's slowly killing us, and well, we don't really have much counterplay yet. And I guess Invoker has a lot of raw spell damage, but Invoker on his own is not quite enough to dislodge the sort of etymological watermelon.
No, an Invoker on his own actually poses almost zero threat to Tide. It's very, very hard to solo kill a Tide Hunter. You're gonna have to
Radiant
really your only two spells that are effective against him are Ice Wall and EMP, and you got to use those to your hearts. You really got to make him look good to be able to threaten a Tide. And a Nyx pick, one of my least favorite heroes to play against, and there's a reason why. It is so disruptive, especially on this Invoker hero, to have to play against not only the Carapace, but also the mana burn. It does so much damage, because Invoker has I think it's over 4 int per level.
And honestly, it might be like 4.2. It's very, very high. And I mean, Nyx.
4.6.
Oh Jesus! I mean, Nyx
Yeah,
saw some
it's so
changes in the
much.
last patch, but nothing that really stops him from being good in this particular role, in this particular game, in this particular mashup. And well, I'm sure Booba enthusiasts, given their propensity to just lock in that first phase Invoker, know exactly what they don't want to play against. And well, now Invoker is really playing against what he does not want to play against.
Radiant team picked.
Yeah.
Drow Ranger.
Did you pick up the Drow Tusk?
I mean, I like that they're being bold with this Drow Tusk pick, but I feel like Booba enthusiasts have plenty of time to counter this out. Am I wrong about thinking that?
10 seconds.
No, you are not. And if I'm KU, what do I want to play? Do you know what I want to play if I'm KU? Because I
There's
think I
a
do.
lot of cool options. I think KU, though, wants to play Terrorblade.
I don't think so. I think he wants to play Lycan.
Oh, yeah.
I think
the other
Playing
dynasty
Terrorblade
ones.
into Drow feels pretty bad, actually.
That's why. I mean, I figured it was a bad matchup, but that's okay. KU. I'm sure KU
That's
has
true.
some pockets, Swift Link into Ag Scepter, first 2 items built to counter out Drow or something stupid like that. But
There's not really that much special you do into Drow. You kind of just play it normally, but you've got to fit in an AC into your build somewhere. Just because Drow takes away your base armor, so you can't build agi items to give you armor. You have to build them actually.
outside
But
of Lycan,
it's-
though, there's plenty of other options if they want to go for what's more off meta. I mean, traditionally
Maybe a
Stalk
Pudge
Inspector.
carry.
That might
They
be
pick-
our carry. Actually, it's likely our
Maybe.
middle lane hero, but it could be our carry.
I could see it. I could also see them not deciding yet, and sort of just we're gonna decide when we see what your offlaner is and see how much a Quap wants to play into it. So
you already know that Quap doesn't mind the Invoker matchup middle lane, so it's like, all right, we'll wait for the. We know all our matchups in mid lane. We don't know them in safe lane. You grab your 3 hero, as you mentioned. We'll counter it even harder. So say our choice of Drow Ranger plus your offlaner lane counters, rather than just raw pick to counter the Drow and then get lane countered. You know.
what do you ban if you're KU here? What does the Radiant need is probably a better way to phrase the question.
Depends what Dire will want. I mean, if they want to grab, you mentioned Lycan, then it would be. What offlaners counter Lycan? Actually, I want to figure this out.
So, Lycan is banned. Mars would be a great counter to Lycan. Can't let any of his summons leave. I think Sand King also fares pretty well against it. I mean, Bloodseeker would be a pretty common offlane pick to counter Lycan.
Yeah, so small picks doesn't necessarily counter Lycan in the lane, but say minute 7 onwards, that's something very good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Lycan is a little bit hard to completely crush in the lane. You have to have either like some sort of lane dominating ability, or just a way to bully him when he comes up for CS. And so, someone like a Veno or a Viper might be able to just, although it is difficult against wolves, because those heroes don't deal well with that. But something like a Mars or a Sand King that can punish him whenever he comes up to the wave would be good. But Lycan's banned, so
It's still time for them to think about offlaners. I mean, they banned Mars, they banned Legion Commander, but there's still plenty of both meta and not offlane selections available. That's what they're thinking. You know, this is a team that might be willing to get outside of the box with this next pick. Just try to throw the side of Booba enthusiasts off. There's one hero in mind though where I think could be interesting if nothing else, and that is Slardar. I'll hear thoughts on Slardar.
I think that Slardar doesn't look bad with their draft. They definitely need that type of hero. It's just I could see Slardar getting absolutely destroyed by Grim Quap if that's the lane. Like it's always in the back of your head whenever you look at this hero. You've got to think, do they beat a Quap in lane? And there's very few heroes that beat it. If I'm them, I might just go like something like Darkseer. That's always going to be good. Like you're never going to lose a lane, but it's not going to absolutely crush in the game. Or maybe they do something along the lines with also like a Sand King could work in that role too.
My one concern is if they go Darkseer, then what stops Booba enthusiasts from just locking in this anti-mage pick who is a traditional hero that loves to lane into Darkseer with that extra magic resistance to mana burn, and especially in the new patch now. AM's even better into Darkseer than he used to be. They do go for the Slardar. Pulse on the Jokers. There we go.
If I'm KU team, I'd probably just pick a mid. No, they
grab
go
instead
PA,
the PA.
huh?
So you know what? We see Queen of Pain Grimstroke as a viable lane matchup, but we want a different hero. We want a hero which is, you know, a KU classic, not necessarily a meta staple, but a hero that KU likes to play. And, well, it's also a very traditional Drow counter, so I can see why they might be thinking that there.
I think the Drow PA matchup is also, like, I don't know if it's necessarily PA favored. I think it definitely goes both ways.
Really?
Yes, because a multi-shot goes through evasion, which is super nice, and you have a lot of ways to keep PA at arm's length, especially with your slows, which if you proc your marksmanship, it goes through the evasion. So Drow just has 2 natural ways to go through evasion. And on top of that, you have a knockback if KU blinks on you. So if KU has the farm and the positioning and the items to kill Karan in a BKB or before Karan can like force staff away or get saved by something, then yes, it's a very nice PA matchup. But if the fight goes on longer than that, and like PA is the only one that is focused, it can be really hard to destroy a Drow. But I think it's definitely easier for PA to play the matchup, but Drow definitely has a little bit of counterplay, more than something like a PL allows for you.
Well, we are jumping on in once again. If you are just joining us, welcome to game number 2 of our preemptive champions, Booba Enthusiast taking on Joker's team. Booba Enthusiast won game 1 in 32 minutes, though the game felt a bit over before that. Hopefully game 2 turns more interesting. My name is Badger. I'm joined once again by the one and only Season 8 champion, ColonelSquid. And hopefully we're in for a good time.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna just check the 2 Pro Tracker to make sure I'm not talking out of my ass. That Drow has a decent matchup against PA.
You explained. I mean, there's obviously, back in the day, before they added, multi-shop, before they added some of these cool items, these newer items, PA had a very, very good matchup into the Drow. This is a more like its classic sort of vintage feel, where back in the day, you picked the PA to counter the Drow, but nowadays you have more tools on Drow, so it's not necessarily as bad as it was in antiquity. And we are seeing a 4-man smoke immediately by the side of Booba Enthusiast running through the Radiant side jungle. Malefic has popped his, and they see Balljacks perhaps, or perhaps not. I'm not entirely sure at this point. They are playing in the trees though, waiting for the rune. Perhaps they find Little Man Balljacks. Nyx is showing. Impales there on 3. It's a 3-man Torque of Fate. It's fantastic already. Io's on the run. Io will barely survive out of the bash on Malefic. First one is drawn by Balljacks. His life is traded. It's 1-for-1 so far. Now it's Dire. Torque of Fate from long range brings down all the time. Kid Defy will TP away to the top lane. Bit worse for wear, and overall, Booba Enthusiasts, they gave up first blood, though got 2 kills in exchange. Now the bounty runes are just there still. There's just 2 bounty runes uncontested right now.
That's pretty funny.
They'll find those later, I suppose.
Oh no, he doesn't get the Sunstrike CS mid. Brings down the creep to 6 HP before Aaron denies it. That's so unfortunate. And Aaron gives him the tip. Yeah.
Instant tip.
So I was not talking out of my ass. Drow is 12-7 against PAs. So sporting a decent win rate.
What does that include sample size? Is that like pro games or like pro pubs?
Every pub that is 7K plus in the last week.
There's been that few Drow PA games in the last 7K games? Wow.
Yes.
I guess no good players pick PA. That's probably why.
Yeah.
Other
PA's been picked 617 times in the last 8 days, and so in 20, what is that? Yeah, 19 of those games, there's been a Drow. 600
feels low though, is it not? Like, what's the sample size for the last 8 days games total? Like 100,000 games in the last 8 days?
In 7K plus or what?
Yeah. There's a lot of 7K plus games, not because there's a lot of 7K plus players, but because 7K plus players tend to play a lot of games.
Well, if you think about it, let's say 7K is what? Rank 500 NA, rank... There's probably about, conservatively, 2,500 players as we get a kill into Kron bottom with Frylane.
I caught it, don't worry, I caught it.
Frylane.
I'm letting you do the math right now.
Yeah, aggro try.
It's a good shard from Balljacks. We'll have to get back to that one later. Inkswell will stun Balljacks. Balljacks is tanking the damage as KU runs at all the time, kid. Balljacks survives, but back to the math. This is math that interests me.
So there's about 2,500 people in a morning. So each one of them plays about 3 games a week, right?
What's that?
Or 3 games per day is what I was saying.
Oh, 3 games per day?
Which is probably... So there's 8 days, so they're playing about 24 games in that period.
I guess they wouldn't play that many games then, never mind.
So that'd be 60,000 people playing games, but there's 10 people in a game, so if you divide that, that's 6,000 games.
Guess I was well off from the math there, my bad. Well off the estimation. We're off by a pretty large factor calculation on that one. 100,000, 6,000, big difference there.
Yeah, no, I also think that number is low because there's no way PA is picked over 500 times if there's only 6,000 games. There's a way better way to do this. If PA was picked 617 times, and we just figure out what
3-on-3
pick
bottom
rate
lane.
is.
Who will die first, though? Is it Kobe or is it Io? Io, Kobe, both low. Io drops, and Kobe is still alive. Bulljax tanks a T1 tower, brings down KU's courier, but it may be at the cost of his life. Stroke of Fate, the right clicks. The gust was good from Karam, but not quite good enough. Down goes Bulljax, 2 for 0 trade, and now it's 5 kills on the board for the enthusiasts. And well, we didn't see first blood last game until I think minute 8, and now we already have 6 kills early on, so if nothing else, we have a very exciting early game.
Yeah, the PA is really, really nice in trial games. You offer a lot more kill potential than most carries do. Like, oftentimes your dagger is better than a stun. Like, it's a 2-second slow at level 1. And all you lack is damage. And so just having that extra hero be in the lane offers you all the damage you need. And so usually you would think that something like Tusk IO, or Tusk is also a great tri-laner, but they just have these AoE stuns on supports. And so it kind of counteracts the tag team because you just get impaled into Inkswelled.
Well, bot lane, they'll attempt on Bulljax once again, but this time he will survive. Tri-lane versus tri-lane. It is where the action is, though for once both teams have... Never mind, here comes Snowball on Malefic. Tag team, Gust, Shards are fantastic, but KU's in. He's Inkswelled, and he will be stunning and bringing down Nile. So both teams have lost 1 support, and Dire want to make it 2. They're running at Bulljax, who is still alive, but not for very long. Stroke of Fate brings down Bulljax. Beast is TP'd in, looking to see if Karan's tornado and a meteor dropped. KU the target. He's gusted back and brought down by Karan and Beast. So it ends up being a 2-for-2 overall trade. It costs the Invoker's rotation. As happens top lane, they're trying to bring down Tide. Io has arrived, but Tide is a Tide Hunter. Sunstrike hits, but Tide remains a Tide Hunter, and he will not die.
Tide has boots, and the Florida does not, so kill is unlikely. I'm surprised that the Tide is doing so well. Usually you'd think a Slardar and a melee v melee would just destroy, but 11-17 doing very, very well for himself.
Oh, this time
meanwhile,
at long last go down. The bash comes out. Ravage is then on 2, though.
Quap on the way.
Walk away. Quap, that is
This is
Aaron,
a double Sonic
rotating
wave.
in. Blink, Scream, Slardar dead. Sonic Wave long range brings down Io. Aaron gets 2, and now bottom lane, they're once again fighting. Bulljax is hasted, the Malefic is an impale on Karan. Stroke of Fate, blink in, Inkswell. Inkswell will miss, but Snowball puts Karan right into 3 more higher side heroes. Karan is blocked off by Kobe. What a fantastic body block by Kobe! Karan will die the blocks as well! Bulljax will attempt the fight. Stroke of Fate hits, and it's a double kill for Kobe! And he'll barely survive! Oh no, this is a disaster for the side of Joker's team in the bottom lane. I just want to point out that he stood there between that little path between the 2 trees. He got 2 kills doing that! Wow, what a heads-up play.
That's a player of the week play if I've ever seen one.
You've already given him player of the week, I think, haven't we?
I know, we have, that's why. Only a player that has been player of the week would make that play.
Why isn't Beast making those plays then?
He did. He made an excellent rotation on the bottom.
Okay, you might be right, actually. The fighting continues bottom lane. Stroke of Fate hits on 3. Shards block, kind of, but KU on the outside. Io is dead. Sunstrike hits KU, but KU is still looking to fight. Bulljax will stick. Stroke of Fate is once again onto Dagger. Slows Bulljax. Bulljax will drop low, but he has not dropped to death quite yet. Kobe has Stroke of Fate. And he has a ward, actually, but now Bulljax is in the trees and we'll be fine.
Nice lane swap. Definitely working wonders.
Yeah, I mean, Tide is just so beefy, and the 3-on-3 in this PA. I mean, usually Tusk does very well in the tri-lane situations, but
not against the 2 supports of Dire. They are very, very good against what Tide has. Another rotation from Aaron top.
Yeah, I mean,
Looking
Aaron
like it's
is
gonna net
bashed,
some
but
kills.
Sonic Wave will hit on both. DeFi goes down. All the time, Kid will attempt to get away. 1117 actually lacks spells, but it seems not to matter. Aaron is on the case. Io is under the tower. 1117 is diving, and the Anchor Smash will bring down the Io. 2 more kills. Set up again by the smart rotation by Aaron on Queen of Pain, and it's 14-3 kill score wise. 3K net worth lead at minute 9, and well,
Looking rough.
yeah, I'll agree with you on that one. I mean, it could be worse, but it certainly is quite rough.
Definitely could be better.
Oh,
But
yeah,
I think that you do have some good things coming. Your Drow is about to be 6 now.
Problem is, your
He
Drow is
is-
about to be dead. Inkswell did not stun, but they're still diving with 3, and they want Karan, and they will get Karan, but can they find vengeance? Snowball stuns Kobe, shards, block him in, and Io is there. Sunstreak from long range will miss, but Kobe, who had his 6th streak, feeds it over to Bulljax, and now Bulljax has 680 gold to his name. Problem is, Karan is very poor. If you look at the hero net worth chart, he is 6th by a pretty decent margin. He is closer to Bulljax than he is to the enemy side carry, and that is not a good sign.
That is definitely not a good sign. Drow can recover though, but it is very difficult.
Yeah, I mean, Drow's a hero who can recover, but you don't want to recover on Drow. I mean, it's a lot easier to obviously be ahead in any carry, but Drow loves momentum, and once she's ahead, she can do a lot of work. But this game, say, an item... Oh, top lane, they just rotate in the Grimstroke to bring down the Slaughter, but a hero like Drow, right, loves to be like a half item ahead, but instead she's half item behind right now, and that's... I just hear like PA plus Quap plus potentially like a Nyx plus Tide Blink. That could be real bad.
They definitely have some gap close. Some gap close that is worrying, and
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
this has got to be so annoying. Just sitting mid as Invoker, and the enemy mid is a Nyx, or is the Pos 4 Nyx that is just soaking XP,
Radiant's
and is just
tower is under attack.
mana burning you off cooldown.
He's got 2 points in mana burn too, so actually a decent amount of damage in mana burn. It's just, I mean, Invoker, he loves to cast these high mana cost spells. So when you have no mana, it's bad. Honestly, very simple concept, but it's certainly not good for Beastler. And
Looks
people
like
who don't play Invoker.
Drow is
Actually,
looking
I'll let you go. Justin.
trouble.
Oh, yeah, Drow. Yeah, I see. She is definitely in trouble, though not quite yet. She has, at least 10 seconds to live.
I think she is going to be dead before 11:30.
Well, we're at like 5 seconds now. We're getting close to 11:30. Blink in Inkswell. Gust brings 2 back. Now Shards. Save Karan 4 now. Soulbind into Impale.
I was wrong!
Into Sonic Wave. And Squid was wrong, but the kill,
She lived till 11:31.
the kill is still there. Karan is dead. Aaron blinks away. Sunstrike on the mark, but the damage
it
is
hits.
not quite enough. Stroke of Fate will slow. Impales on 2. Ice Wall is dropped. But Io is dead. Snowball is in. Can they bring down Quap? No, they cannot. They'll get the Nyx. But it's Tusk dead. Quap alive. Another disastrous trade in the bottom lane for the side of Joker's team. And of course, on the flip side, a good trade for the side of Booba enthusiasts. And it's...
Does he have it? He's going to go for the blind sunstrike. He's scanning. He's scanning. He has vision.
Oh!
He has
Sunstrike?
vision.
No, it's not quite enough.
No, he got salved. The
Kobe-
salve
the
from
salve.
Kobe actually saves him, or maybe it was a salve that Kobe had from laning that they never used, I believe.
The little
And even though he
plays,
was, because that was a kill.
it was dead on the mark there, but the damage it's 2 Sunstrikes in rapid succession, but just not enough damage. And
Yep.
top lane, it will be tied, perhaps going down. It's, a punch in from Bulljack. 11-17 goes down for the first time this game. That is at least something for the side.
That
of
is
Joker's
good.
team. It is good for sure.
That is good. They have gotten another core kill, but I think the KU train has started, and it is going to be really hard to derail it. He's not at Battle Fury yet. Like, he is actually not that farmed. He went a lot of laning items, and it delayed his Battle Fury by quite a bit. And so Drow is farming the jungle probably as well as she can for being level 7, but KU has gone for the spreads, the Orb of Corrosion, and the Stick, which is about, I don't know, 2,000 net worth. That could be into his Battle Fury. But
Bot T1 goes down to Aaron, and top lane we're seeing a TP away by Io. Mid lane, though, it's Bulljax attempting on KU, but KU, you mentioned those extra little small items and kept them alive quite easily. But as that happens,
triangle?
like solo killing Karan
no.
in the Radiant side triangle. I got you, Squid. I got good camera work, don't worry.
Yeah. There you go, Badger. Nice little ward from the Dire. Because, of course, they have a ward. Very, very prepared. Bulljax does get it. Or does that not get it?
Yeah, they get it. Bulljax didn't see it, but they got it.
Bulljax is... He's he's got cataracts, guys. Relax.
Does he? Does he have cataracts at 25?
No.
I believe
that's just what he tells his doctor for the hookup.
Well, mid lane it is Impale into Ink
no.
Swell, into Stroke of Fate, into Dead Beast. Yep, that is one kill right there. That is... I mean, you want these cores to not be dead if you're Radiant, and... well, they're dead again, so that's good for Dire.
These supports are actually such high level.
Yeah, level 9 on Nyx, level 9 on Grimstroke. By comparison, Koran, level 8s. Radiant supports. They were 7, Bolus just got 8, but they're certainly a good bit behind the Dire side counterparts, which I suppose in a stomp like this makes a degree of sense.
Both the mid and offlaners are super high level, but that's because they were all in 1v1s. And the 4-5-1s are all fairly low level because they were in the tri lane, but
Reminds me of the good old days, except the one difference is the offensive levels. It's the one difference.
I think that the thing that they're gonna wait for is sort of this like second or third item on KU, because like honestly, they're kind of fine to just chill on the Dire. The Quap's super farmed, KU's out farming the Drow. Definitely feels like Radiant needs to make this play.
They've smoked as 4. They find both Nyx and Tide. Nyx will go down, but can they get Tide? Ravage comes in on all 5. The turret is huge. Io dead. Tide is fighting. Slardar next to fall. Suddenly was there on 3 as well. Bulljax is dead. Stork of Fate, Orchid, they're both on the Invoker. Invoker certainly will drop Karan. Escapes death. But it's a 4-for-1 trade, and what was a big lead grows rapidly. Booba enthusiasts, they are expanding at an uncontrollable rate at this point.
It's definitely the one thing that I didn't mention in draft, but one of the things I didn't like about the starter pick and why both the bans were really nice from KU team is they didn't really have this hero that like threatens a Tide. Like, if you're a Tide Hunter and you look at the enemy team, there's 0 things that stop you from ever getting up your Ravage until the Drow has Silver Edge. And by that point...
Io's dead. Oh, never mind, Io's not dead. Instead, mid lane, never mind, Crush was missed. What did you shoot before that?
It's very hard for the Radiant team to stop the Tide from getting off Ravage. So if Tide has Ravage up, he can play very, very aggressively knowing that he kind of has this oh shit button that he can press kind of whenever he wants. Because the Radiant did a really good job of layering their things. They did a snowball into a punch using 2 different mini stuns, but in the end they just don't have that extra thing to stop him from getting off Ravage. Something like a Legion Duel, which they banned, would have been super nice to just have this, no matter how much damage you take, you're never going to be on stuns. Oh, Io. Pop gonna
jump?
jump?
A lot of damage, though. Not quite enough to kill the Io.
Pop is not gonna jump. Aaron going Orchid Shard, so a very aggressive build, and it leaves him pretty squishy, to be honest. Usually a Quap would have a lot more HP with, like, a Finished Treads, have a Pyasange, but...
Well, both teams are in mid lane. Radiant want the Nyx and Grimstroke. Slardar is silenced, though the Nyx is dead. Aaron will blink away, but Radiant pursue the Grimstroke, who is in charge, stopped by Bulljax, and now killed by Sunstrike and the crush from Slardar. So that is 2 kills for the side of Joker's team, and it was in exchange for absolutely nothing. What a fantastic trade for them.
I think. Oh, they're looking for 11-17 here. If he is alone, he can actually die. Because they can make it where the Ravage doesn't matter. It's another great ward from the Dire, seeing this this Lardar right here. Just it feels like all of the wards are in the right spot. They have one top, got one scouting mid and Roche rotations, and then one in the jungle to scout the Drow when she's in her farming patterns. So very nice combo of aggressive and defensive vision. Because if you're the Radiant team, the play that you want to make is top. And so they've got a ward skewed towards the top lane with very little focus on bottom.
Yeah, that's just like this was part of the reason why it's just so hard to play against Booba enthusiasts. It's like we've been fawning on and on about these core players and Kobe, but just the warding in general as well is also very good. It's like, all right, this team just has no weakness. They're just good at everything. It's frustrating.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons why it's very, very easy for Kobe to sort of slither into this pos 5 role is because even when he's a 3, everybody is on the same page with how they want the game to play, where they want to be playing, where they want to have vision. And so it makes it very easy as a 5 to know where to play. They break their smoke onto a Slardar. See, Bulljax is looking for kills.
And this punch into Sunstrike into a dead Nyx, but Tide has arrived. Big bad fish. Ravage will be there on 3, and Dire have begun to commit in. KU arrives. Aaron will be there quite soon. It's Bulljax dead. Sonic Wave there on all 5. Bulljax, Karan, Io, Slardar, all dead. The trade is for KU, but it's a full 5-man wipe for the side of Booba enthusiasts in there. And they lost the PA, but that's still a fantastic team fight win for the upteenth time in the series. What did KU die to? Because they're tipping him.
He just got Tornado Meatball Orchided Cold Snapped by Invoker. So
why are they tipping him then?
I don't know. Because he died.
Jesus.
Yeah, it wasn't like a bad death. It definitely was a fine death, but it was a death.
When you tip like that, it's a bad death, you know?
No.
You're just tipping him.
That's a sort of... I think that tip is a tip of, we know that we are 12k behind, and that this game is looking very, very rough. But we killed you, and you died, so you deserve to get tipped.
Well, we saw a bit of a play from Slardar. Did not work. Instead, it is Kobe going down in the river towards the top lane. We're seeing the Slardar build, though, begin to blossom. We almost saw Aaron dive bottom lane to this Slardar. Problem is he just had a little bit too little attack speed to have a chain stun the Clop there.
This is a pretty greedy build from Aaron. It's really, really nice if you're ahead, but if you die once and you realize, wait, I need a defensive item, you can feed. But we'll see how it works out. I believe in Aaron to make it work, but it's definitely a build that gives Radiant some counterplay. I think if he were to go something like BKB Shiva's, which is definitely very boring, but like he gets amp damaged and Drow gusted, these kind of SOL. Definitely got to rely on his teammates to create some space for him, which they do have great space creating heroes. Maybe he's just assuming that spells won't get casted on him, but they also do have an Orchid. I don't know, we'll see. Smoked up on the Radiant.
It is desperation time, perhaps. They've smoked, they've scanned, they know they're headed towards the top lane area, into the Dire side jungle. They see very little. They now see Tide. They know somebody's over there, but problem is it's also a Tide. They see Aaron as well. Can they get him? Blink, punch, the follow-up. It's 0. Aaron blinks away instantly, not Bulljax.
Bulljax is so dead.
He'll be left to die without a doubt on this one. Though, as that happens, Slardar is gone on Nyx Assassin. Soulbind comes in from Kobe. Sunstrike will hit on Kobe as well. Ravage comes in. It'll be there on 2. Kobe, Io, both dead. DeFi is fighting. He'll lose that one for sure. 2 for 3 so far. Dyer winning it. Karan TP's away. Just in time, but look where Dyer won the fights. It's right outside Rashawn.
I don't know if they can do it, though.
Dude, me and Malefic had the exact same thought. Just like instantly, eyes drawn to the slippers. He killed the slippers! No! He killed the slippers!
Unlucky.
You're supposed to put the slippers in your backpack and present it at their throne when they call it GG. Come on now, 11-17. I'm sure. But probably Karan slippers. Karan is notorious for leaving behind slippers on the floor. It's actually kind of an odd thing to be notorious for, but it's true.
I'm going to go, basically, first item, BKB on Drow. Feels very bad. You can kind of count, I guess it's second if you count Yasha and Dragonlance as one item, but first big item over 2,500 gold, being the BKB, doesn't feel great. If Yasha was 50 gold cheaper, it'd be the first item over 2,000 gold. So.
Do you know what these Hellbearers, the red and yellow Hellbear smashers, they like do a circle thing when they die. What does that circle thing do?
It empowers all neutral creeps in that area to do more attack speed.
I hate this game. I truly do. This is why I cast. I love casting.
Why? Because you get to learn all the interactions?
I both get to learn them, and I don't have to play against them. I have to play against some empowered Hellbear Smasher, you know? I don't want to do that. I see circles pop up. I'm seeing Karan being gone on top lane by Malefic. Vessel hits Karan, will TP, and it'll be away in time. But
wait.
Oh,
Okay. The potato gives 100 bonus attack speed, and the tomato gives 50% bonus damage.
It's 100 attack speed! Mid lane we're seeing Blast being gone on by 2 heroes. Ink's will stun, Blast goes down, but back to the Hellbear Smashers. What?
Yeah, that's quite a bit. You could get that on Doom and just have a sort of a nice little goodbye. That's where you buy old Bloodstone on Doom. You blink in, you use your Thunderclap, and then you suicide. And give your team a bunch of bonus damage.
What the hell? What proof is he saying? How are you supposed to kill creeps?
They're farming super well on the side of Dire. All 3 cores above all 3 of Radiant's cores.
That's been the story for most of
Grimstroke almost at a complete lead lane, about 1,000 away. A little bit more, but
oh dear,
close enough. It's going to be quite the combo if they can sync it up of Soulbind into E-Blade into Mana Burn into Plop spells. A lot of AoE.
Yeah, I'm sure they need all that AoE damage and coordination to bring down this Radiant team. Malefic has been caught, but he also has teammates, plenty of them. Soulbind comes in, Tide is Yule's, but has Ravage, he'll hit it onto Io. Tusk will go down. Radiant supports, they're dead. Actually, that's not
that's not that bad.
That's not too bad.
But it does. The bad thing is what it gives up, where it gives up Roshan. I love that Ravage from 11-17. And that Ravage says, we're getting Roche here. It doesn't matter who we kill with this. If we kill these 2 heroes, you can't fight Roche. It doesn't matter if it's your 4 and 5, which is what it ended up being. You're not allowed to pick Roche. Oh!
Maybe a trade for Malefic, though. He's been blink crushed. Problem is, he's still alive and has plenty of teammates. He's died, but it may be for the team. 2-man Inkslow stun into Sonic Wave, into a dead Invoker, into a dead Drow Ranger. Slardar has his Io with him, but he's letting his Io die. It's like, alright, Io relocated and saved me. He's going to die for it, perhaps. Or perhaps not.
He's good. But unfortunate. That is the power of the Co-op Ags, of just being ready at almost a moment's notice. And just going back for an armor item, so not playing it too greedy, but it's definitely the more fun armor item to go. Love having an AC over a Shiva's.
Now, you mentioned in the draft possibly getting an AC against Drow Ranger, perhaps with a carry pick, but it says, alright, KU refuses to buy an AC. He's buying other items, so it's like, alright, if KU buys buying a Manta style instead, I'll buy the AC. I'll be the team player.
KU's got 85% evasion. What does he need armor for?
This is true, actually.
Yeah, this
Speaking of
Slaughter
heroes who
will
need
not
armor,
be
it's
hitting the
Boljax, who's very dead to physical damage from inland. See, if Boljax had like 55 armor, he'd be alive right now. We've lost it. We've lost it at this point. We're seeing Slardar tank the Impale bottom lane and gets crit down by a double damage Phantom Assassin of KU.
Ooh, actually, what about Pango as the offlaner for Radiant? That might have been cool. Because Pango can actually like chain stay in the tide really.
Oh, we're seeing actually we're seeing Karan dying. I mean, Pango would have been interesting for sure. I mean,
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I don't know.
because you still crack and show off
Bottom tower.
Pango roll, but then you get instantly re-rolled on, right?
Yeah, you should ask someone who plays Pango. They'd probably know that.
Don't you play Pango?
Don't know what you're talking about.
We're seeing
moving on.
on KU. He's now diving the base. He blinks in for more. The IO actually does a Ravage, but the problem is the Invoker tanks it. Big save from Boljax. The problem is Invoker's still dead. Soulbind hits. IO dead. Tusk dead. Slardar has respawned. He goes on in looking for Kobe. Kobe will die, but it will cost Slardar
That's where you
his
tip
life.
Kobe.
Yeah, you're right.
Tip him.
It is tip
Oh
time.
no, Boljax.
Not quite sure what he's doing, but he has plenty of time to reconsider his mistakes. Now he's dead for over a minute, and Karan is alive. So because Radiant have staggered these deaths, technically it's not a full 5-man wipe, but the barracks can't tell the difference. The T3 is dead, the Rax will die, the GG is called.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not too surprising of a result. This is what we expected, the 2-0 victory for Booba enthusiasts, and the expectations have become reality.
Alright. That was a fun game to watch.
All right,
Game one I enjoyed more, but
my question
still
for
fun.
you, Squid. If I give you a bet, $20 right now, will Booba enthusiasts win, or will any other team win? Which do you take?
Booba, 100%. $10,000.
Jesus. You're that guy. That's fair, that's fair. I'm at the
I
point
mean,
now where
have you seen the other teams?
yeah, I have seen the other teams.
I have watched the top 5 teams on Group A play, and I think 0 of them stand a chance at picking a game off of KU team.
I think Group A in general is. I spoke very lowly about Group A on the Power Hour. I said because there's gonna be 8 matchups in playoffs, right? 8 first-round matchups, which are all Group A teams playing Group C teams. I believe the exact words were I believe at least 6 out of 8 matches will go to Group C. So we'll have to see if that one happens.
Sure, it's Group B. Smile.
I think this is definitely one of the ones you can pencil in. Nay, you can write this one in pen. Booba enthusiasts
I don't think you need his
Group
pencil.
8 team first round, regardless of who it is. So,
Yeah,
whoever's the 4 seed is just doomed to the lower brackets.
Unless, I don't know what would have to happen.
Polar ass pull a miracle.
I think that they would have to have their sister playing. They have to dog die, cat die, fish die, lawnmower stop working, monitor unplug.
Perhaps Keita playing with more ping than your entire team combined type stuff.
Yeah. I think that would have to happen for Booba enthusiasts to not win.
Dear. I mean, that's your series. 2-0 victory. Booba enthusiasts dominant showing once again. And I believe at this point they've mathematically locked up the number 1 seed in their group.
How many wins do they have right now?
Let's find out. They're
They're at 15 points.
No, they're at 17 points actually. So they definitely
17
locked
now.
it up. Yeah, they're 17 and 1. So they already had it locked up going into the series mathematically. They couldn't have lost it. So
Yeah, they could have.
actually, yeah, if they dropped every game and Metaverse won every game, they would have done it. So their magic number was 1, and they got 2
Yes.
right. So they've more than locked it up.
Yes. So, yeah, it's definitely quite a showing to see the number 1 seed play the number 7 seed. Chikorino's actually not doing that bad on standings, but not doing well enough.
You can turn off your open mic, by the way, if you want.
I already did. Smile face, but thank you.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I would really enjoy to see how this iteration of Step Bro would do against Crossfire Simps, and that would have been nice. Maybe we would have seen it in quals tomorrow, but unfortunately, it was not to be, which is very sad. I think this team is playing quals tomorrow.
I'm sure they are, man. They've played the last few open quals. I'm not sure if they'll have the exact 5-man roster that they had tonight, or if they'll have their normal 5-man roster, but regardless, at this point, you got any more analysis for us other than, hey, Booba are good, Jokers are pretty okay, but not this good, type thing?
Not really.
I figured.
Always good to see the Karan Dota 2 experience. Unfortunately, it did not win today, but you're still a real one, Karan. This yeah, definitely shout out to Karan.
Alright then, do you have any final words, call out, shouts to say to the people of League of Legends and twitch.tv/BadgerPablo?
Shout out to Karan. Go follow him on Twitch. Twitch.tv/bigassnoober.
If you're curious, I believe Karan's Twitch handle is twitch.tv/KKKTOAL or something like that. What is his Twitch?
Oh yeah, it's twitch.tv/ KKOTWAL. I don't know how you say it. Okay, cockball.
That is going to be the end for tonight, though. Thank you for tuning in. Now, tomorrow. Sunday. It is the North American DPC Open Qualifiers. I hope you're excited, because I am. It'll be all night, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, converted to your own time zone. It will be Badger and Logical taking on the open quals. Surprise, surprise, once again. We are going to have a fun time. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, open qualifier casting. It's going to be a grand old time. Hopefully we'll see some of you tomorrow then for that action. But for now, tonight, thank you for watching, and as always, have a great night. But if you want to hire me in Logical, contact me on Twitter. Twitter.com/BadgerDota2. Discord, Badger, number 5713. Thank you for watching, and good nights.